Hi National Junior High Advisors, greetings from Cape Town, South Africa. I'm coming to you through this medium as a quick and efficient way to bring your attention to some of the challenges that you may encounter when it comes with working with youth from intercultural background. This is by no means an exhaustive suggestions, but I'm giving you some tools for your tool bag to address issues as they arises. So when something happens or is said in front of you, you don't have to have the answers or the solution immediately available. Because in fact, comments like this often catch us off guard, and each situation is so nuanced, and I hope that you can be part of the solution. So when you hear a conversation that is going in the wrong direction, stop the conversation in that moment. Do not let that continue like everything is normal and trying to push past that conversation. When you do that, it minimizes the impact and often leads to a festering that becomes worse later on. Instead, stop, pause, let the whole group pause. This can be as honest as saying, you need a moment to help process this. Name what happened, what you see, what you hear, and the context. And maybe you offer some framing so it gives a big picture of what has just happened so everyone can be involved. A joke that went too far, a competitive game that got out of control. I want you to name the intention of addressing it. What you're doing as a group and why you are doing this as a group. Because the goal is to keep a group cohesion together and a group of working across cultures together. See who is impacted and how race may play a role. Colorblind is not often work for conversation about race and racism, particularly with youth and young adult. You often hear people say, I am colorblind, or I don't see color. Everybody is equal. But I tell you, the idea of colorblind in itself can lead to a sense of somebody feeling out. Share the feeling. How do others in the group feel? The person it might have been aimed at, or even hear from the witnesses, the person who might be feeling judged. Ask and invite others to share their feeling of discomfort and anxiety. I want you to be aware that discomfort and anxiety are frequent feelings when discussing race. For example, I have learned that it is not only the black person who is hurt when racialized slurs specific to black people are uttered. Others who witness the event can be hurt and offended as well. When discussing race, feelings are often drivers in such a conversation. But always remember that the goal is to work together to name a desired outcome. The intent is not to find blame and find fault with somebody, but in your longing to work as a group and bring in youth from the Caucasian and intercultural youth together will help foster unity. What if the incident happened and you as a leader didn't see it? Sometimes things will happen off screen, or might even be a pattern of small building incidents that came to light. You can still use the above tools, but you may have to rely more on witnesses and described experiences. The importance of believing stories that aren't common with your experience, or if your inclination is connected with your story that comes from a space. I'll not have meant anything by that. Then work to listen and be open to perspective that reminds us even things that aren't meant badly can have hurtful impact. Let me help clarify some definition of racism. In our country, the Supreme Court only recognized racism from one kind of angle. And the Supreme Court defined racism as violent, verbal, hate-based racism. This also becomes the only way that many of us recognize racism is the type of racism that has been defined by the Supreme Court. However, there are many other types to be aware of, such as implicit bias, structural or institutional racism, in-group biases, especially common as a way of excluding others, and there are many other types of racism as well. These types of racism are just as obvious to those who experience the impact of them. Also, moving ahead in this conversation, it is often helpful to remember that the opposite of racism is not to just be nice. And the opposite of not being nice is not racist. It is possible to be nice and be racist, biased, or prejudiced. Talking about a moment when somebody expresses something out of racialized superiority, animosity, ignorance, does not make them evil or bad. It has become part of our societal messaging that it is internalized. Let us continue to work to address issues as they come. Everyone gains from keeping short accounts. I hope this video is helpful and you have a wonderful conference. God bless you. Thank you.